What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumbass. Like and subscribe, hype. So, Sony think they slick. Sony think they slick. Releasing Laufey a day before the Fable early access releases. Now, subjectively, we can argue about which game's better. I know which game is better. A lot of people will be fooled by presentation, by ooh, look how pretty the graphics are and stuff. Although the graphics in Fable, I would say, are top notch. What you have to think about is game play, right? We've seen what Laufey offers. It's a Devil May Cry slash original God of War kind of flavor, but not with Kratos, which kind of defeats the purpose of a God of War game. I understand what they're trying to do. Sounds interesting, but they should not have put the God of War name on top of that. They should have just called it Laufey, and then the surprise would have been, oh snap, Kratos! What Kratos doing in here? Oh, it's a God of War game, but you just call it Laufey. Oh, what was her full name? It's Laufey. So yeah, just call it Laufey. If it's a good enough game, it's not, you don't need the God of War moniker on top of it, but they're doing that in order to trick the dummies, trick the casuals. Oh, it's a God of War game. Where's Kratos? Oh, he's an Ember Ash being. He's a shadow. He's not even in. I mean, maybe you do play as him. Who cares? I don't care. The point is gameplay. Now, God of War gameplay is cool. Go back to the first game. Yeah, I mean, I played Dante's Inferno. I think that's a better game actually because demon boobs. Just saying, a little bit more interest. Like, whoa, that's interesting. Nightmares will occur, but sure, you know what? I don't see this in any other game. But I'm thinking about Fable, right? And when they showed that half an hour, I'm like, okay, there's mad systems in this game. This isn't. We're not. It was barely even talking about the fighting, the weapons, the spells. None of that. They were just talking. Oh yeah, you meet this beggar. Hey, you want a job? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I bought this bar. You want to work at the bar? Yeah, sure. You're fired. Get out of here. Just that. I'm like, yo. And, they sped it up for just for demo purposes, but still, I was like, you can't do none of that in God of War in Laufey, excuse me. You're just gonna be running around with a goofy cube named Huey, I mean Frank, and some ribbons named, I don't know what the ribbons name, Chandler, Chelsea. I don't know. Does it matter? No. I bet you none of you that are watching this video know what the name of the ribbons are on that sword. Y'all don't know. Oh, I'm the ribbons. I'm not the sword. Huh? I'm like, first of all, why do I care about ribbons talking unless it's enchanted with the spirit of a person that is trapped in a spell, and then Laufey goes and rescues, and then the ribbon lady turns into a real lady, and then they find it. Maybe something like that. Okay, Frank the Cube, explain that. Explain that, because I'm like, I don't care. I want to see how stupid it gets. That's all I'm saying. But them doing that, it's like, yo, Asha, man, Asha. I mean, honestly, she did the numbers. She said, "Yeah, man, we're gonna have to pay." If they had went back on their agreement with PlayStation, then they would have probably paid more than what the cost of making that port to PlayStation. So they would have lost twice as much money and not recouped it back. So at least they will recoup some of that back. At least I would say if they recoup the cost of the port on the PlayStation side, then that's a win. I'm buying the physical copy. Let's go. Physical copy all the way. Every game that I want to buy, I'm buying the physical copy. Like I bought the physical copy of Halo, but I'm downloading it because I got Game Pass. So I'm gonna just play through Game Pass. Got the physical copy, Put that in the collection. Put that in the collection. And so when I need to, I can rip it open and say, I got my copy. Boosh. It's brand new. Spanking new. So, But anyway, I think Fable is a better game than Laufey. People are going to disagree with me because they like to play movies and not actually play games. And they're seeing all these cinematics. Oh, look at the acting. Are you playing that acting part? No? Okay. Let me know when you start playing. And when they showed the gameplay part, I was like, okay, yeah, you fought a couple of zombie men or whatever they were. And then you fought a boss dude. And then I was like, okay. And part of that is like QTE, and you know how they do it. It's like, oh, you get this part, and it's a little cinematic, and you press a button. That formula is getting so rote. It's ridiculous. I'm like, I see it in every PlayStation game. You see it in Spider-Man. You're gonna see it in Wolverine. You see it in Wolverine. What they showed already. I'm like, yeah, that reminds me of Laufey, which reminds me of Spider-Man, which reminds me of y'all making the same game over and over again with different characters. That's what y'all are doing, and it is getting tiring. It is boring. It looks flashy, but you're not doing nothing new. Nothing new. You ain't doing nothing new. And so I look at Fable and I'm like, hold up. I could kill the giant dude. I forgot his name. Or I could heal him and he won't die. I could not kill the giant dude. Choice. You could be a good person, bad person. You could be a good person in this town, be a bad person in that. Man, there's like Fable is almost like, based off of what I understand, Fable is almost like a forever game because you can go and play it so many different ways and have different just outcomes. You can be like, yo, I'm gonna be evil, everybody, I'm evil to everybody, I'm killing all the people, and I'm evil. You could do that. Or you be like, I'm the best, I'm gonna be the best, I'm the best. Now, not everybody's gonna like you because it's hard to balance being the best like that. You want to try to buy some businesses, and then they're like, oh, you got too many businesses. You don't care about the poor people. Or, they always got somebody against you, right? So, but that's part of the game. That's part of the beauty of how that game is created. I'm like, yo. And like I said, we haven't even gotten into the magic and the fighting and the battles and exploring the open world of Albion. Man, that game's, and plus, it's British. It's like the most British. Yo, there's a thing to be said about British humor, British comedies, just British. Like, one of my favorite movies was Time Bandits, right? That's back in the day. That's Terry Gilliam. He's the director. I believe he was one of the Monty Python dudes. I think. I don't listen. Monty Python was just before my time. I was Benny Hill. I wasn't Monty Python. So forgive me. They're probably as I understand it, the best British comedy troupe ever. I did see a couple of clips, but it was lost on me because I was like, okay, this is crazy, but whatever. But Benny Hill was just goofy, and I was a little kid, so I was like, boobies. Anyway, um, quick little sidetrack. I saw a picture. Somebody posted a picture of Axl Rose today and Benny Hill. They are twins, son. Go look it up. Go look up Axl Rose and Benny Hill. Yo, I was like, what? They look like us. Anyway, sorry. So, like, people are they are underestimating the power of the British humor, the Britishisms, all that is Britannia that they're inserting into Albion. Pause. Even like the Humphrey character, and they showed that little thing with. I'm like, yo, that's cool. Makes me want to play that girl, because I'm like, yo, I want to kind of play that because that's what they set up first and foremost. I'm like, I don't know. Do I want to play that? I don't. But I think I'll do it, dude. I want to see how that works out. I don't know, man. It's just so many different possibilities. But then you go back to Laufey, right? And you're like, you have any choice? Nope. You gotta go that way because the little ferret monkey, whatever it was running that way. So you gotta follow him. It's like, okay. And then you gotta watch a cutscene for 5 minutes. And then you gotta start, you kill a couple of enemies in an arena, and then you go through a couple of corridors, and then you get to another cutscene, and you gotta watch that for another 5 minutes. And then you fight the boss man, in an arena, and then you kill that guy, and then there's another cutscene, and then the end. Does that sound like fun? Does that sound like, oh man, I'm playing this forever? No, that's a weekend game. You get through it, you're done, you're never playing it again. That's what Laufey is. Harkens back to old school gaming, yes. But I'm looking at Fable, I'm like, yo, there are games that have systems like Crimson Desert, crazy systems. But they don't got the British systems like Fable. Fable is a little bit more focused, a little bit more like bam. And I'm like, I'm like, yo, Playground Games don't miss. They haven't missed since they started making games for Xbox. They haven't missed. They are the top studio as far as I'm concerned. Them, Coalition. There's a handful of studios that Xbox has that have not missed. I'll even say 343 slash Halo Studios. They haven't missed, but like people have revisionist history. The first Halo was groundbreaking because it was the first Halo. Halo 2, no ending. I mean, it was cool. Like, oh, you can play the Arbiter and you can play blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, but how come it just ends? I was playing this. I was like, what? That's it? It's over? It was the goofiest ending. I was like, yo, they did not finish that game. And there was a documentary about them. They didn't have enough time. They never finished the game. And people are like, oh, I love Halo 2. I'm like, man, y'all something else. Then Halo 3 was cool, but it felt like Halo the first one because literally the ending was pretty much the same as and then Halo ODST, that was straight because it was different. It had like different music. It was different. And Halo 4 was great. The story. The multiplayer was busted, but I never played multiplayer. Halo 5 was it's okay. I think Halo 5 was one of the it's the weakest of the 343. They only made two. I consider Halo Studios still 343, but whatever. And there isn't a bad Halo. That's my point. There isn't a bad Halo game. Some of them are better than others. Halo 2 not finished, blah blah blah. There's problems all along, right? But none of them are bad. They're all bangers for the most part. They all sold well. And so I'm like, all right. And then continuing the Halo campaign evolved seems like it's gonna be a banger too. I can't wait to play that. I think I downloaded it. I can't remember when it's supposed to open up. Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll get to it probably next weekend. But I'm like Santa Monica. They make good games. Yes, they made the God of War game. Cool. That's all they've been making. Santa Monica hasn't made another different game ever. I don't think. What did they make before God of War? Did they even make anything before God of War? Or was that like the first game? I don't even know. I can't. I'd have to look that up. Y'all, if y'all know in the chat, let me, in the comments, let me know. But they've been making God of War, God of War, God of War, nothing but God of War. And the problem now is that they got nowhere to go. They can't change the formula too much because it'll upset the players. And the fact that Kratos you're not playing as Kratos already upset people because some people are, let's be real, just sexist and they don't want to play no lady. Whatever. Or they see God of War, they want to play as Kratos. Understandable. Because that is the whole thing about God of War and why the original trilogy or quadrilogy. Let's not forget Ascension. Okay. The reason why those games were awesome is because Kratos was who he was. Kratos is no longer Kratos. Kratos is an old dude trying not to be angry, to be a better example for his knuckleheaded son. And I'm like, look, if y'all want Kratos, if y'all want to redeem yourselves with this whole God of War, whatever's going on, you need to kill Atreus. Kratos needs to get angry again and go on a killing spree to kill every god that ever exists. That's what he needs to do. And then y'all just go through the list of gods. Jesus, God, Jesus dad, Jehovah, freaking who else? Who else is the Indian ones? Vishnu or whatever, I don't know. The Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, kill him too. I don't know. All the gods, kill everybody. The Kratos is like, I've done killing all the gods. I can now rest. And then he goes to sleep. He goes to forever sleep. He goes to sleep and he's calm now because there's no gods around to have his anger pointed towards. Or maybe he becomes the god because he killed all the other gods. So he's like kind of Loki with the tree, with the branching uh, timelines, but there's no timelines. It's just Kratos is alone. Kind of like, remember when was it the end of Conan the Barbaria, Conan the Barbarian, when he was sitting on the throne. He was King Conan at that point, but it was like a future. And he had a big old beard, and he was like, "That's Kratos, just sitting there like, I'm the king of the gods, Kratos." And then his son comes back to life as sorry, but yeah, they can't. There's nothing they can do. Like Laufey, whatever. But it's like, and remember, I said something about I saw a video. Somebody put out a video about the DEI. Not to like go into that, but there's something to it because if you notice, a lot of I'm gonna say all the PlayStation games have this whole kind of female replacement, main character replacement type of thing, or female focused, and that's part of the DEI initiative. I guess they get partial funding if they include a certain amount of DEI prerequisite. I don't know, but if you notice, Laufey, I mean, sure, it makes sense within the God of War, well, the new God of War stuff. But did they have to do that? I thought that they were gonna go follow Atreus. Atreus, little time jump. Atreus is like 19 right now. He's like boom. He's all sexified, and he doesn't have a messed up haircut. He looks good. He looks like, oh, this kid's a warrior now. He don't look stupid and act stupid. He's the man. And then Kratos is there. His beard is all gray. Mm-hmm. And then Kratos is still like, boy, go give me some dinner. And then Atreus is like, I got you, pops. Because everybody has to speak in modern language. So says Jonathan. I was going to say Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan. Yeah, I haven't seen the Odyssey yet. I think I'm gonna wait on that one. I don't feel like going to the. I'm saving myself for Spiderman. Anyway, so yeah, I got you, pops. Don't take too long, boy. All right, I'll be back. He walks out. I'm back, pops. You got the fire lit. We're gonna cook this barbecue mongoose. Yes, boy. Very good, boy. I don't know how many times he could call him boy. I mean, if he was a different ethnicity, calling him boy would be problematic. I think not really because it's his dad, but still, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, sorry, a bit tangent. But like, I admire. I would say I appreciate. What's his face's the guy who made the God of War games, not Jaffe, the new guy. Why am I Cory Barlog? I appreciate his connecting of the stories and like kind of having this long plan from the first 2018 to now. I appreciate that. That's foresight. That's that's cool. But is it the game that we want to play? Is that the hero that we want to be? And do we care to have a cube companion? Yeah, man. I think Fable is going to be a better game, uh, as a game, as systems, as like a whole package, and I believe people will be playing Fable longer than God of War. God of War is a one and done. That's what they're good at. They're good at one and dones. You're not playing it again. Oh, there's a new game plus. You can play it again. Except you got all that. That's not. That's just trying to make your game longer, but it's not. Meanwhile, you're over in Fable, you're like, this time I'm gonna kill all of the dudes, all the women's is mine. You can do that in Fable. you just kill all the men's, and then all the ladies might come attack you, but you kill whoever's gonna come get you. I don't know about the children though. That's is there is there children killing in fate? I don't know. There's kids. I saw one running across the thing. They probably got spells on them or something, or you got a spell, an enchantment to not harm the. You know what? That would be a crazy like mission, like if like you have a certain enchantment that forbade you from like striking children, killing children, right? But then there's this evil kid that's like he's just an evil kid and he knows magic and stuff, and he's like, wait, how am I supposed to kill this kid but I can't kill kids? And so it's like some crazy. That would be crazy if they do something like that. You know, see, that's the type of game that Fable is. But nah, y'all want to go Laufey. Y'all want to just play. Y'all just want to go along this straight road, create a predetermined path, and play that. You want to play a movie. Meanwhile, I'm making movies. I'm making babies. Everybody getting pregnant. I'm having all the kids. I'm gonna have so many kids, and marriage, divorce. I'm marry you, have a kid, divorce. Marry you, have a kid, divorce. I'm bouncing everywhere. That's just one city. That's just one town. Then I'm gonna go to Bowerstone. I'm gonna do it all again. Come on, bro. That's a game within itself. The metas are crazy. Meanwhile, you're in Laufey. It's like, what you gotta do now, Cube? Oh, you gotta follow this predetermined path to get to the other boss monster. And you gotta fight him. And then you gotta, yeah. No choice. There's a theme there. No choice. No choice in your gameplay. No choice in your games. Can't get the choices are disappearing overall on PlayStation. Why would you even play a game with no choice? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna play Laufey. I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation. Why would I buy why do I need to buy a PlayStation? That's the question that you need to ask yourself, and everybody needs to ask themselves. If you don't have a PlayStation, why do you need it? Here's the problem with PlayStation. The games are cinematic and they look cool and everything. So much so that you don't need to play it. You can just watch somebody play it and get the same emotional response from it because it's a movie basically. Slightly interactive, less than though. And so I'm gonna be watching Laufey. I'm gonna watch it and say, "Oh yeah, I remember the part when it's like, oh, you played it, nah, bro, YouTube. I played it on YouTube. That's what I did. Press play. I put my feet up and had the popcorn, and I watched the Laufey movie. Wolverine. I'm gonna watch that too, begrudgingly though, because oh man, they are some ugly. Why everybody ugly in that game? How come there's no beautiful people in Wolverine? Is there a prerequisite, a mandate at Insomniac to have ugly? Look, you go back and play Sunset Overdrive. There's some pretty girl, pretty girl, pretty dudes. Not hair punk. Then I mean, except for what was his name? Calorio, not Calorio. Maybe that's where Calorio got his name from. But yeah, they're all they're not all attractive, but there are some attractive, some nerds in there too. It's all good. But yeah, it's like they got the Sony and they're like, yeah, everybody ugly. Like, but we like to make pretty people. Nope, ugly. Like, all right, yeah, want us to make ugly people, whatever. And they did that. They getting paid. They don't care. Like, hey, this is as ugly as I can get it. I can't make Mary Jane any more fugglier than this. You sure you can't make it more ugly? Work overtime and make it more ugly. Like here, this, and then the next day he's like, oh, I did it. I did it, boss. This is what I did. I made her get the symbiote, and then she's ugly because the symbiote, and then she's fighting with Peter. They're having a couple's quarrel as Spider-Man and the symbiote. And boss like, okay, that's pretty good there, Johnson. Okay, do it. Then they work on that for 6 months, and people hate it. I name try send me some person who said that's the best part of the game because they and guess what? I never played the game. Watched it. I played it on YouTube. Like I'm gonna play all their games. And thinking about like Sunset Overdrive has more gameplay than Spider-Man. That might be true, actually. It had a multiplayer. Spider-Man never had a multiplayer. Oops. See, y'all getting shortchanged over there on PlayStation, man. Xbox had Insomniac making multiplayer games, and y'all can't even get. Yeah, that would have been the best multiplayer if you just had the web. Like when remember in the movie when Miles Morales went into and it was all the different Spider-Mans from all the different universes, they were all chilling. Man, come on, bro. It writes itself. It's like, yo, why didn't you do that? Man, they're squandering so many good freaking IPs over at PlayStation. We're not even getting into that today because it's just too many. But anyway, I appreciate you showing me and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about PlayStation trying to be slick, launch Laufey, real close to Fable. Here's the last thing I want to say. Every time PlayStation launches a game close to another high profile, potentially banger game, they lose. Horizon Forbidden Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West. They both launched close to games. First one was Zelda. Which one was it? The first one? Breath of the Wild, I think. Whatever. First one was Zelda. Zelda killed it. Killed them. Second one was Elden Ring. Killed them. Imagine if Fable does the same thing to Laufey. That would be, that would be Chef's kiss. That would be hilarious. That'd be great. But anyway, I appreciate. I'll talk to you on the next one. Till to wait.